Hey everyone, welcome back to Shadow Gamer Reviews, where we break down some of the most iconic games out there. Today, we're diving into The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, a game that redefined open-world exploration and set a new standard for adventure games. We'll be covering the gameplay, digging into its development history, and wrapping up with our rating. Whether you're a longtime Zelda fan or new to the series, this one's worth exploring. Let's get started. Breath of the Wild takes the Zelda series into uncharted territory with its massive open-world design. You play as Link, waking up after a century of slumber, tasked with defeating Calamity Ganon and saving Hyrule. But instead of following a linear path like in past Zelda games, you're thrown into a world where you can go anywhere and do anything right from the start. The game's physics-based mechanics are one of its standout features. You can climb almost any surface, glide through the air, and even use your surroundings in creative ways to solve puzzles or defeat enemies. Whether you're cooking meals to survive, experimenting with elemental interactions, or finding clever ways to approach enemies, Breath of the Wild constantly rewards curiosity and experimentation. It's a game that lets you play your way, and every player's journey feels unique. Let's talk about how Breath of the Wild came to be. Development began back in 2011, following the release of Skyward Sword. The team at Nintendo, led by series producer Eiji Aonuma, wanted to rethink what a Zelda game could be. Their goal was to break free from the traditional structure that had defined the series for decades. To do that, they focused on creating an open world that felt alive, filled with possibilities, and responsive to player actions. One interesting part of Breath of the Wild's development is that the team took inspiration from the original Legend of Zelda for the NES, which was all about exploration and discovery. They wanted to recapture that feeling of being dropped into a vast, dangerous world without much guidance, letting players figure things out on their own. After several delays to perfect the game, Breath of the Wild was released in 2017 alongside the Nintendo Switch, and it's safe to say it was worth the wait. Since its release, Breath of the Wild has been hailed as one of the greatest video games of all time. Critics praised its open-world design, attention to detail, and the sheer freedom it gives players. The game was a massive success, both commercially and critically, winning numerous Game of the Year awards and earning perfect scores from countless outlets. However, not everyone was sold on some aspects. Some longtime Zelda fans missed the more traditional dungeon structure, and others felt that weapon durability was a bit too punishing. But even with these minor criticisms, it's hard to deny that Breath of the Wild is a masterpiece. For me, this game is a 10 out of 10. It's one of the most immersive and well-crafted experiences I've ever played, and it's a must-have for anyone who owns a Switch. In conclusion, Breath of the Wild is a game that took risks and redefined what an open-world adventure could be. Its sense of freedom, combined with a beautifully designed world and deep gameplay mechanics, makes it a landmark title not just in the Zelda series, but in gaming as a whole. Whether you're gliding through the skies, scaling a mountain, or just cooking up a meal at a campfire, the game constantly surprises and rewards you. If you haven't played it yet, you're missing out on one of the greatest gaming experiences ever created. That's it for today's look at The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. If you played it, what's your favorite part of the game? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth game reviews and breakdowns, right here on Channel Name. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy adventuring.